every week. Catch your freshest on your TV. Field level football, Quan, Pat, and CT. On the field running plays for the 3P. And we shine lights, camera action when you see the team. Pick 6, touchdown when I got the ball. And if you think you in my league, tell them knock it off. Money calling every day and I just got the call. Production over projection, it's in us, we just got a ball. We just got a ball. We just got a ball. We just got a ball.
Football podcast of the West Coast. I'm Patrick Quan, that's CT. Gentlemen, how y'all doing tonight, man? I'm gonna just jump straight in. I don't even really want to go ahead. How y'all doing tonight?
Great, man. We great. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot to be excited about today. You know what I'm saying? CT with the fresh cut. How you doing, my brother?
I'm all right, bro. I'm all right. Actually, so I had to cut it shorter than what I expected. I got that Pat from 1994 cut.
Let him know something.
Yeah. He got that. He got that Pat from 1994 cut. As you all know, man, it was somebody played football today. A whole bunch of teams was out there played some football. Some teams won, some teams lost. But there was football that was played today.
Yes, there was.
And that's it for tonight. And that's it for tonight's show. No, but yeah, it was some football played tonight. I don't know where we want to start tonight. Do we want to start with the Raiders? Do we want to start with the Niners? Since it's the freshest, let's just go ahead and start with the Niners, man. Let's get it going. Kick the show off, peel the Band-Aid, rip the Band-Aid off. 49ers just lost at home again. I couldn't tell you the last time the 49ers have won a home game. But the 49ers, yeah, I'm not even on Wi-Fi. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Anyway, 49ers just won the game, lost the game, 30-18. Quan, what did you see? Quan, talk for a while. I gotta recalibrate.
All right. So I know usually when we get on, I always say, I didn't pay attention to the Niners as much as y'all do because y'all Niner fans, but I paid attention today. I had time today. What I saw, your offensive line, particularly your tackles, they weren't playing well. They weren't playing well. You kept hearing Chris Collinsworth mention the Colts' best edge rusher, which is Kwity Paye from Michigan. He's their guy, but he's been nicked up with injuries. I think he had a hamstring issue a couple weeks ago, and he's rounding back into form. Second half, he started to make a lot of plays, and the tackles were getting beat. There was plenty of times where even if Jimmy makes some kind of a play, he's always escaping a sack or having to move around in the pocket. And we all know he's not as mobile as your backup quarterback, Trey Lance, who wasn't even active for tonight. So with a quarterback like Jimmy, he needs protection. Yes, it was wet. Yes, it was slippery, but the Colts had to deal with that as well. So that excuse kind of goes out the window when both teams have to play with the same elements. From the Colts standpoint, and I'll be real quick because I know you guys want to go in depth, and I'll just add on to what y'all say. But Carson Wentz, this is exactly how Carson Wentz was supposed to look in Philly. You know what I mean? It's good that he got back with a play caller and a coach who knows him, who knows what buttons to push, knows the kind of offense to run, and also, you clearly saw in the elements he was taking his shots at you guys. Now I know y'all kept hearing it. You guys lead the league in DPIs, like lead the league. Y'all number one. And on a game like today, well, yeah, if you send your receivers down the field, the dude not gonna look at the ball, throw it up. Either you gonna make the play, he gonna get a PI, especially in today where the balls were underthrown a lot from both sides. So I'll let you guys go more in depth, and then I'll just add on to what y'all say. But that's what I saw tonight, man. The Colts just made more plays than the Niners did with the elements and the conditions. That's really all it was, to me at least.
CT, go ahead and take a stab at what you saw tonight from the San Francisco 49ers.
I'll just start off by saying it's very hard and challenging sometimes to come on after a tough loss. I've always tended to take it a little harder than what I probably should. But reflecting, we had some time and dialogue in our group chat, the field level. group chat, and I pointed out our quarterback Jimmy G. What I didn't allude to is I put this on Kyle, and this is why. You talked about all the penalties. That's a discipline issue. At the end of the day, this is a reoccurring trend that we see week after week with the 49ers. And if you look at this game as a whole, yes, this was in some ways a must win. I agree with that sentiment, but I also look at it as this was also a game that the Colts were giving you early that you could have done something about. Um, yeah, I know we didn't have Trent Williams. I know it was wet out there. Um, I just didn't like the energy out of the quarterback. I didn't like the energy as far as conservative play calling. I understand why, but I didn't love the way we attacked this game. I felt like early on in the game, the defense gave us opportunities to capitalize on, and we didn't take advantage of it. And at some point, at least with our team, the defense will not hold up the entire game because it's not built that way. It's opportunistic when it can be. And if you look at the Niner history, we're not a team that's opportunistic when it comes to getting a lot of INTs, getting a lot of fumble recoveries. The ball doesn't bounce our way on a typical day as some other teams experience. However, when we do have those opportunities, and that happened today, we're not taking advantage of them. To be 1 for 11 in converting third downs, I don't know what the final stat was, but that was the stat going into the fourth quarter, I believe. You can't have that. We just can't have that. I understand Robbie Gold's out, so the confidence with the kicker isn't the same. I get that. You got Mohamed Sanu returning punts, no disrespect, but that's probably not ideally what you want. Hasty did not look like he has his legs under him yet, coming off that ankle, which I think could have also made a difference in the run game for us. I appreciate Elijah Mitchell. I think he's a good back. Yeah, it wasn't much to see today. A lot of drops, inconsistencies there. How do you get Ayuk involved? I'm not sure how you do that at this point because they clearly don't want to. Defensively, pass rush, it's okay. But the secondary, man, it's just we've always had that D-line in the last few years that has put enough pressure or got in the way, disruptive enough to where, our secondary was able to kind of just hide. Now we can't hide. And it's evident, it's showing, and you could have honestly cut pretty much everybody on the defensive secondary today. Tart
Hey,
played well. I seen when he hurt his knee, and we just don't have it right now, man. It's embarrassing. That's all I gotta say.
hey, Pat, Pat, I want you to go, but CT. The last thing you just said about the D line and hiding with the DBs and all that. Let's come back to that after Pat go. Go ahead.
All right, we can circle back to that whenever you feel like it. All right, here we go. It's going to be very, very cut and dry for me. Coming into this season, this team had very high expectations. Some would say, dare I say, Super Bowl aspirations. The issue, it's a litany of different issues. It's not just one thing that's holding this team back. There's a litany of different problems that are holding this team back. I see some people are saying Kyle. Some people are saying Jimmy. Some people are saying the health of the team. Some people we had a couple weeks ago, it was D'Amico. So there's a litany of different things that we're throwing out there as it pertains to this team. But one thing that resonated with me today, and it literally, guys, just hit me like an epiphany, just hit me. I think a lot of these guys think that they're better than they really are. And when you live and when you play football thinking that you're better than what you actually are, you get exposed, and then you continually make the same mistakes. You talked about discipline. You talked about all that type of stuff. CT. You talked about the secondary. This secondary easily is the worst secondary in the NFL. Easily. We talk about the penalties. I'll give you a number: 97 yards. There was 3 PI calls for 97 yards. Emmanuel Mosley, the PI on Michael Pittman, in the back of the end zone was inexcusable. I played DB for a very long time. You don't hold a guy like that and then look around like, why did I get the penalty? Why did I get the flag? Come on, bro. You're terrible. You know what I'm saying? And I call it how it is at the moment. These guys are very, very, very bad. Jaquiski Tart is very bad. Josh Norman is really, really good in run support, but coverage, he's terrible. Can't cover. He just can't cover. And then, you have Emmanuel, who I think is a victim of said statement of a guy thinking that he's better than he really is. And when a guy thinks he's better than what he really is, he goes out and he makes those kind of mistakes and blames everybody else. Jaquiski was bad. I'm ready to see him gone, period, point blank. He's terrible. This secondary was absolutely horrendous. Now, this is the other thing I'm going to come to. There's this narrative that's being painted that Kyle doesn't trust Jimmy. That's why the playbook is limited in some type of capacity, whatever the case may be. They put up a stat. They put up a graphic during the game that I'm gonna stand up a little bit for Jimmy in this moment. When Jimmy Garoppolo, when the play calling is geared toward Jimmy Garoppolo, we're talking about Kyle doesn't trust him. But when the play calling is geared toward what Jimmy Garoppolo does well, he does it very well. On play action pass, we had Elijah Mitchell, 18 carries for 107 yards. On play action pass, Jimmy was 8 of 11 for 126 and a touchdown. That's not a bad day for a quarterback. So I can't sit here and be like, oh my God, Jimmy was terrible. When Jimmy did what Jimmy does, he was 8 of 11 for 126 and a touchdown. Now, Kyle, what it is your job to put Jimmy in those positions to where he's doing what he's good at, and it's 8 of 11 for 126 and a touchdown. We saw at the end of the game that last drive second to last drive, where he hit Debo on the touchdown. They play action their way all the way down the field. Why? And then you talk about a great offense, right? You talk about great offensive coordinators. In the NFL, what you do is you script your first 15 plays. Those are already scripted. Those are out of the way. That's what we're running going into this game. Come hellfire or brimstone, this is what we're doing. First 15 plays. First 15 plays for the 49ers, bang, 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 touchdown. Why? Because it was scripted to do what Jimmy does well. Then what we did was we got away from some stuff and we tried to get cute and do this other stuff. Let's do what he does well. If he's going to be in there, do what the guy does well. Don't try to get fancy and all the. Do what he does well. Run the ball.
Yeah.
Run the ball with Elijah Mitchell. After the running game gets going, what do you do? Play action pass. Heck, if that's what it takes to win games and be consistent, go ahead on and make that happen. But I want to come back to this, and I'll let you guys go again. We talked about Kyle not trusting Jimmy. I think it's one more trust break in this equation that nobody's talking about. Kyle does not trust the wide receivers of the San Francisco 49ers. It's not just Jimmy. Yeah, minus Debo. It's not just Jimmy. And guess who else is included in that? Kittle. I don't believe he trusts Kittle. Why? Because Kittle can't stay healthy. The reason why I say that. Bam. Okay, that's that reason. But if you see what's happening, Debo is being schemed into the offense. The little crossers, he's being schemed into the offense. There's not one other wide receiver that plays for the San Francisco 49ers that is being schemed into this offense. Not a one. Why? Because there's a lack of trust, and Kyle does not trust those guys that are on the outside. That's why you have Jalen Hurts, who you haven't seen because he sucks and he's hurt every other week. You heard all this buzz about Juwan Jennings. You barely see him in the offense. Trent Sherfield blew up in preseason. You get no love during game day. Brandon Ayuk was your high draft pick, and you're trying to push him. And then now there's this whole media circus around him about, we thought this guy was going to be good, but he sucks. There's a lack of trust in that wide receiver room. I see Juan said the O-line was bad. I personally didn't feel like the O-line played terrible today. Jimmy was sacked, once? Twice?
Yeah, but the pressures, though. The pressures was crazy.
The pressures were there. Yeah. I didn't really see I didn't see a situation. I would say they were just at an average mark today. I don't think they were terrible.
It's possible. It's possible. Yeah,
they were like, they were right there. That's where I'm at with it. That's how I'm feeling. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a guy that does not trust his team. And what you're seeing is when the guy does not trust his team, you see the team doesn't trust the guy, and that's where we're at right now.
Now you hit some good points. I wanna also say this too, like, because I was getting ready to kind of blast the D line for y'all when we're talking about C has said earlier in his opening statement that usually when you guys have had the dominant defensive play and the dominant D line specifically, a good D line will hide deficiencies on the back end, and now it can't really happen, so the back end is getting exposed. But why is the back end getting exposed? If I'm not mistaken, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, your whole D-line starting was out there minus Kinlaw. Am I wrong or right?
Maurice Hurst was out too.
Oh, he starts over there? I didn't know.
Yeah, it's between him and DJ Jones on who that other guy is.
Okay, but they both get kind of like equal reps probably?
Hurst was out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he didn't play. He didn't play. I just didn't know it started. But okay, but for better or worse, your starting guys are mostly out there, right? Bosa's out there, D4's out there, Armstead's out there. Armstead got the biggest contract of all, and he's not even in the starting lineup, depending on who y'all playing. That's a problem. Like your best D lineman actually plays on the Colts now. And that's what's crazy, because go back 2 years ago when we talked about this, and I told both of y'all, I don't care about the money and the contract. You don't get rid of your best guys. You find it out. And honestly, Buckner said in a when they went to a commercial, before a commercial break, they put up a statement that Buckner said on one of his media days this week. And he said, I really don't know what happened. I thought they were going to try to keep the Super Bowl defense we had together. And as soon as Armstead got his money, that's when he kind of knew. So it's like, your back end is suffering. I get it, especially with injuries, but it don't make no sense. You got D Ford and you got Bosa. Y'all need to do something. Now Bosa was getting loose. He just wasn't getting all the way home all the time. But case in point, somebody needs to step up. And last thing I'll say, make sure you follow us, Field Level Twitter. On our Twitter, I have the alerts on for David Lombardi, who covers the Niners, especially after the game. He just put out something that Kyle Shanahan said at the post-game press conference they're doing right now, probably, or it's probably over now. He said, when you go 3 and out, as much as we did today, a lot of things will go wrong. You guys were, I think, 1 for 13 or 1 for 11, something crazy like that on third down. So not only does that put a damper on the offense and any success you guys might have, the defense is out there all day in those conditions, running around trying to tackle Jonathan Taylor, who's built like a Mack truck. So, I agree with you, Pat. You got guys running around just doing stuff. And Kyle don't trust the receivers. I agree with you 100% on that. If they're scheming Debo to get in, that's a problem. Because that's pretty much saying, I don't trust none of y'all. I don't want none of y'all. I'm going to find a way to get Debo the ball. I don't care if I can give it to him all game. And then all that's going to do is get Debo hurt, because Debo has an injury history of his past as well. So it's like, something got to give. I don't know what it is.
Interested. I would be interested to find this out. And I don't know, maybe somebody that's in the chat, somebody that's on can figure this out. Outside of those 3 pass interferences that gave him 97 yards, 2 of them was in the end zone that by rule put the ball at the 1 yard line. Out of those, if I take those out of the equation, how many sustained drives did Indianapolis put together today? As I'm thinking, as I'm recollecting, I can only remember like maybe two drives that they put together, and one of those, Al-Shaair got that fumble recovery that they called, and it was a turnover. I'm interested to see how many sustained drives they had, because I know that we're saying in the chat, a lot of people are saying, offense is the problem, we can't score. Very, very true. But in a bubble, when you look at this particular game, the defense hurt us a lot today with those penalties. I would be interested. I know we had 7 penalties for 122. I would be interested to see how many of those were defensive penalties. I know 3 were DPI. but I think there was a couple other defensive penalties. I would be interested to see how many of those were defensive penalties, because in that bubble, I'm talking about just this game. I can't expound upon the season, but just in this game, I want to know how many sustained drives Indianapolis put together, because if it wasn't many, if it wasn't more than 2 or 3, those pass interference, and how many of those pass interference penalties came on third down? Third and long. You hear what I'm saying? So that matters. That type of stuff matters. You can't be like C said earlier, you can't be an undisciplined team like this and expect to win football games. You can't go 1 for 11 on third down. You can't do these little things that add up at the end of the game and you don't win football games.
And can I push back with you on Josh Norman? Josh Norman.
He can't cover. You can push back all you want to. He can't cover.
Hold on. Josh Norman, I felt like watching the game, anything 15 yards and under, if there was a route being ran on him, 10 to 12, 15 yards and under, he was on it. And that's because he's comfortable in that ballpark. He's comfortable there. You saw him break up a couple passes. It's not just run support. He broke up, but he had a couple of knockdowns. So I think anything short, he's aggressive. He jumps a lot of stuff, and that's why he lives in that realm right there. But anything deep, as we saw, he's either going to get burnt or he's going to hold, and that's because he's not comfortable, especially at this stage in his career where his speed has left him a little bit. And he's a good cover 3 corner, cover 2. But now you see like that speed just ain't there. Almost like you guys have with Sherman. Anything short and in run support, he still does his thing. Anything 15 yards plus, he's gonna get exposed. So I want to push back a little bit on Norman on that, and granted, Norman's only been there 3 weeks, bro, and he's already your best corner. I mean, that's saying something.
No, man, ain't been. We lost our best.
Go ahead,
see. Let's not forget about that. We lost. Well,
I get that, but he's not there, so I didn't include him. See, do you agree with anything, bro? Because I know you sweating over there. You mad?
Nah, it's just the light hitting the dark skin. That's all that is.
Oh, my fault. I thought your eyebrows was.
Nah, yeah, man, it's frustrating to talk about it. There's a lot of missed opportunities, man, and at the end of the day, Pat, it's really interesting. You bring up the trust level with the receivers. That's evident, man, for sure. It's showing, a lot. For them to talk about Ayuk in depth, like Ryan work have to put together and great stuff like that. Like, what's been going on? And I blame the team for that as well. I don't put it all on it because it seems like it's more. That's crazy. How valuable it is at this point. What we have.
Pat, if you don't put your mic on mute while CT talking.
My bad, bro.
Sound like the game. But
go ahead, C. Go ahead, bro.
Josh Norman, I thought that initially as we started the game, he looked all right. Missed some opportunities there with some picks that, or potential picks that we could have brought. But just disappointed, bro. It is a fact of, we do have an arrogance as an organization sometimes with the players.
Unmerited.
Super unmerited. And the thing is, like, E-Man, he was at his best when 2 people were in front of him. And we all know that. He's been forced into doing more and having more responsibility. And his contract would justify what he did previously, not what he's currently doing, right? So it's a tough pill to swallow because you want to believe it too. You want to think that he's better than who he is. The only player that I would say I think is better than what most people may think is Jeff Wilson. I mean, if he could stay healthy, I think that's one of the better backs that you could have. How he got hurt was crazy anyway, but at the same time, just disappointed overall, man. We can't stay healthy. We can't stay disciplined. And it just makes the season feel like it's lost. You had an opportunity today. You could have got on a roll and beat the Bears too, next week and then build some momentum going into Arizona. But right now, I'm not sure because I don't know if they're even ready. So, yeah, man, we can move on.
Who y'all play next week?
You
Who
got
y'all play next week?
Chicago. You got Chicago.
If y'all lose to them, I think something big gonna happen. I'm dead serious.
Nah.
I mean,
Something big like
Telling
what?
you,
y'all
it's
lost
like
to
either you right,
Nah,
but
why?
but we 5-2 though. So,
Oh.
but it's the timing of the losses. Like the way the Bears look today. Granted, they was playing Tampa Bay. I get it, but the way they looked, you can lose, but it's the way you lose. If y'all lose to that team next week, I feel like either a benching, a fired, something along those lines is going to happen to some players on the Niners. I'm just calling a spade, how I see it, and how it's almost like reading the room, feel the vibe of the room.
You can't fire, right? Because all right, so one, they're not going to fire Kyle. Let's call that out. They're not going to fire Kyle.
No, not him. Something big. I'm telling you, I feel it.
You can't fire D'Amico because the defense have been playing pretty lights out the last couple of weeks outside of the penalties.
Something's going to happen.
What you going to do? Going to bench Jimmy? Well, Jimmy didn't play. We still lost. He was out a game and a half. You lose.
You can bench Ayuk.
That man is absolutely trash. You know what? I'm tired of this stuff where one, we got to figure it out because these guys have absolutely bombed it in the draft. You got Ayuk, you got Aaron Banks, who is he going to play? Kinlaw, is he ever going to be healthy? You got Trey Sermon, already looked at as a bust. There's a lot of we got to figure this stuff out. And if you're going to be a competitive football team in the National Football League, your best players have to be available. You have to play good football. You have to play disciplined football. You have to be able to run the football. You have to be able to play defense. We got a couple of those already, but there's a sense of arrogance in this locker room because we went to the Super Bowl. We're big and bad. But what happened was, I'm going to tell you right now, it just hit me. Bang, it happened. What happened is that these guys, guess what? They had success when they were young. They had a lot of success when they were young. Fred Warner comes in, goes to the bowl. Was that second year in the league? Yeah. Bosa, rookie year. You got Iman Mosley, rookie year. You have a lot of guys who had a hell of a lot of success early, and they're trying to ride on past merit and past successes. No, you still got to strap up and go play football all over again. So
production over projection. Hot take, CT. Hot take, Pat, CT. Hot take. The trade deadline is this week, right?
Yeah. November 2nd.
Do you guys see yourself making a move to get a receiver in here?
We don't have nothing.
Yeah, Trade Armstead.
We'll end up probably paying most of the money.
Hey, if you want to salvage any kind of the season, I know the Cardinals they're 7-0 and they're doing their thing, but that game against the Texans looked pretty bad until it didn't. The Rams is there. If y'all want to try to salvage anything this year, or we can just call this season a wash and just whenever Trey's healthy, throw him in there and call it a wash right now at two and what's our record? 2-4?
Yeah. I mean,
if you want to just
feels like 2-6.
You know what it is, and I was about to say that, CT. We're 2-4, but it's a bad 2-4.
Right.
It's not like a situation, because what we started off the season, what was 1-1 or 2-0? We were 2-0. Started off the season 2-0, and we've dropped straight, and it's looked bad. Like these haven't been games where it's like, oh, they're one play away. They're right there. No, it's been looking bad. I mean, the scores have not always reflected that, but if you've watched with a watchful eye, you haven't played really good football. So that is what that is. Let's jump over. Let's pivot. Let's shake this off a little bit. Lick our wounds and keep on moving as 49er fans. I'm sure we'll be back at some point. Just don't know if it's be this year. But one team that's back that are doing some really, really good things. And it even sometimes at times pains me to say it. But the Las Vegas Raiders are doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're taking full advantage of teams that were riding high at one point, and you see them kind of tailwinding down. And now the Raiders are winning games that they've lost close before. Not only that, but they're making plays late to really get in there and do some really good things. And they're surviving issues. I think that's kind of the biggest thing for this Raiders team that I'm really pleasantly surprised about is that this Raiders team is surviving the issues that prior have taken them out, so to speak. You have Josh Jacobs in and out of the lineup. They're still winning. You have the issues that happen with John Gruden. They're still winning. You have the mistakes that Derek Carr has made late in some of these games. They're still winning. You have a lot of different attributes and things that attribute to that should have attributed to them losing, but they've found a way to make these games win. And I want to say, man, as a Raider fan, shout out to you, Quan. How do you feel? Because I just want to give flowers and big ups to Coach Rich. I can't even pronounce his last name, but Coach Rich to come and step in that type of environment and that type of atmosphere and rally men to go out there and do what you guys are doing right now.
It's a very common thing, bro. Oh, hold on. Juan said Raiders are still in the first half. I need to see more production in the second half. Yeah, you're right, because over the last 2 years we have a hot start and then we get our bye week and then the ceiling caves in. So he's right. But
you see what we did after our bye week.
Right. But in terms of today, it's starting to be common. The special team coaches on mostly all staffs across the league are the most loved guys. Like they're revered in high regard. You know what I mean? I feel like everybody, when you hear interviews or you see little pieces of players talking, if the special teams coach get mentioned, oh, that's my guy. I love him. And Coach Rich is no different. No different. He got over 20 years experience. He got a ring on his finger when he was with Gruden in Tampa. So he's very well respected. Everyone loves him. And when you go over, remember I told you guys last week, even though the Gruden thing was a distraction for a few days, if not a week, and our head coach got, booted pretty much, we took a hit. But I said, if any team's going to have the best situation after taking that big of a hit of your head coach getting, leaving, this team is built for it. With Coach Rich, 20 years experience, everyone loves him. Greg Olsen, who's an offensive coordinator calling the plays, called plays for Derek Carr his rookie year. So there's familiarity there. And Gus Bradley, who's our D coordinator, was a head coach before and been to the offs. So the staff around him the staff that's still in place is very well capable of still pushing his team to the playoffs and maybe beyond. Still. It's not like the whole staff is new because we got a new head coach. The whole staff is new. It's just built to other guys that are all buddy, and he's giving them jobs. This situation is not like that. So I think we are the right place at the right time. Derek Carr, if it wasn't for Tom Brady going crazy, he would be in the best quarterback of the league discussion because him and Dak Prescott going crazy. But Derek Carr, bro, he only missed 3 passes today, 31 of 34. 2 touchdowns. He does have a pick. If you watch the game, the pick was a bad idea. Went off the running back's hands with tip drill. So it counts, but 31 of 34, over 300. It's crazy. The thing I love the most, we're getting Henry Ruggs is developing into an actual receiver, which I told people last year, you got to give it time. Everyone doesn't hit the ground.
He didn't even do nothing today.
He didn't score a touchdown, but if you watch the game, which I know you didn't, but if you watch the game, if you watch the game, you see them getting involved early in things that what you do to get guys involved early. Screens, quick slants, get them involved early. We didn't do that last year. Brian Edwards is our big. He's getting down. Brian got a touchdown today. Zay Jones had a big catch, and I told people Zay Jones. People think, he was a second-round pick at receiver at one point in his career, so he's not weak. Let's go there. If Josh Jacobs ever gets healthy. It's going to be really over. And Renfro just does what Renfro does. And, by the way, I know he played the Eagles, but we didn't even have Waller today. We didn't have Derek Carr's favorite target. And he still only missed 3 completions. Defense doing it. Derek Carr is playing the best in the AFC West right now. Minus, Justin Herbert, he had 1 bad game, but it's neck and neck in my mind between those 2 playing the best. He's outplaying Mahomes right now. He got hurt today, but he'll be back.
I'm outplaying Mahomes right now.
You crazy.
I'm outplaying Mahomes right now.
I thought you said I'm tripping. I don't know. CT, you going to carry on with the Raiders and we'll double back as we do, but Derek Carr is sensational, and I think the Raiders have a good system around to keep this thing going.
We might got to get another Raider fan on the show because I don't even like talking about the Raiders. But go ahead.
I can see your face when we're going through it. Yeah, I mean, I gotta give them their roses right now for sure. Give them their flowers. You know, for them to go through what they've been through this season, every game that you guys win, every move that you guys make going forward for the rest of the season is just an opportunity for the potential head coaching candidates to really get a look at, potentially what they might have the opportunity to take the helm for, right? And I like what I'm looking at. If I'm a coach that's looking to, find another job or somebody who's on the out somewhere but would have another opportunity, it's a good opportunity. It's a good space to be in. Derek, we've got a lot of people saying we don't want Derek as our quarterback, from a Raiders fan perspective. And
Tell him, see. Tell him,
he's, he,
see.
he's showing that, it was justified to make me the franchise quarterback, and it's been justified to give me the opportunity to continue on because he's playing really well and he's giving you guys an opportunity to win every single week. And that's, in the case of not having Josh Jacobs on a regular basis, because if you looked at what Pat said last year, what I've said as well, and agreed with them, you need to get Josh Jacobs the ball quite a bit in order for this offense not only to balance, but secondly to win from a time management perspective. And because of those things, Derek is showing that even despite, not having him available for that, you guys are still able to pull it out. And part of that too is the defense. Believe it or not, that's something I've never been high on from the Raiders in years. And the linebacker plays better. The corners are playing physical, which I can respect. The safeties still some growing pains, but overall, like they're balling, they're playing. That's all you can really ask for. Just go out and give your best effort and do your assignment. Because Bradley's a smart coach and knows how to mask, secondaries with deficiencies for the most part. Seattle wasn't always that good. It was just they had the right scheme at the right time and the right individuals to run it correctly. So that's what he's trying to build there, build that consistency. And one thing the Raiders haven't been, for the last, I don't know how long, is consistent. But you're starting to see that consistency on both sides of the ball, and that's what's allowing you guys to succeed and really take a leap in this division at the right time. So, I got to shout the Raiders out. And actually, special team, he was like the best special teams coach during that time in Tampa. He was really, well received. So for him to have this opportunity now, it's a good look. And I'll be honest with you, they may end up wanting to keep him at the end of this, depending on how it goes. So, shout out to the Vegas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is an audition for sure. You call that, see, you're right.
So make the distinction, Quan. Is this Raider team going to win the AFC West? I just want to hear you say it.
Oh, here we go. I need to see us. I need to see a little more. I need to see how we respond after the bye week. Just the first game. First game after the bye. If we win that and win it how we won it today, I'll tell you next week or in 2 weeks.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot to happen. There's going to be a lot going on. I mean, the Raiders are looking very, very well. Kansas City, I don't know. They're right there with the Niners. We welcome. Happy to have you. So it's a lot of different deficiencies going on, but I think that there are some things that are positives out there for both squads. I'm trying to pull them out for the Niners, but for the Raiders, definitely some really good things happening in Las Vegas. They're finally, dare I say, they're finally being consistent, and that's been one issue. Yeah. That's been one issue with the Raiders for a very long time, was that they lacked in consistency. Well, here they come. They're being consistent. And when you're consistent, you start seeing those wins tally up. And here they are, 5-2. This might be one of you guys' better starts in recent years to the season. So shout out to them. Really quickly, I want to just ask this random question, very random question. Y'all know with the Facebook, with the football podcast of the West Coast, we mainly deal with the Raiders and the 49ers, but just have a really random question for you guys tonight. And we'll end the show on that because I don't want to hold the people too long or hold you guys too long. Arizona Cardinals, 7-0. Are they the best team in football? I don't know. How long does this trend continue? Do you guys think that they're going to ride this undefeated wave for a while? Or what do you guys see from them going forward? Do you feel like that can be a situation where they, get through this season pretty much unscathed? And are they the best team in football right now?
See, you can go first.
I will say they are the best team in football right now, but they're not the hottest team in football right now. If I may, I just want to say the hottest team in football is them Cincinnati Bengals, in my opinion.
They got to be the hottest CT. They're undefeated.
They're a good, well-rounded team, but a team that's coming up. And see, the thing is, we knew that Arizona was going to get better. There was no doubt about that. We knew that Kyler
Man,
Murray.
my preseason poll, I had him at the bottom of the barrel. Y'all remember that? I can't even lie. I had him at the rear of the rear of the NFC West.
I saw this as the year that they start that transition away, right? As Seattle kind of being the gatekeeper of sorts, I felt like they would break through there and be right there in contention. Not to be where they are, but definitely a competitor. And, on the flip, Cincinnati, man, I didn't expect them to beat Baltimore like that. That was huge.
Yeah, Cincinnati looks good. Yeah,
So,
Cincinnati.
Two-part question. Are they the best team in the NFL? Absolutely. They're the only undefeated team left, and they haven't played all cupcakes. They played some people. I know today was a cupcake, but they've played other, they played the Rams and so on and so forth. They are the best team. Second part to that question, will this trend keep going of them being undefeated? No. And I say that just because it is difficult to go the whole season undefeated. Everything is going right for them. And that's why we feel like Arizona is just crazy right now. The injury bug is not hitting them. Everybody on their team is playing well. There isn't really a weakness of the team that's super glaring. Every team got a weakness, but it's super glaring. Speed. All DBs got speed. Speed on the back end. You got all pros at every level of defense. Buda Baker, all pro. Oh, I'm sorry. Linebackers aren't all pro, but first round picks across the board, right? The two linebackers that play next to each other. Boom. And then you still got Hicks there. The D line, all
Chandler
pro.
Jones
and JJ Watt. Exactly. So the defense is flooded. And then on offense, all pros. AJ Green was once an all pro. D Hop is an all pro. They just got Zach Ertz, who was and Kyler. So the team is stacked. This looks like the Rams team when they first traded for Jalen. When they had so much talent, it was like, oh my God, this looks like them right now. But it's just hard going undefeated. But they are crazy right now. Shout out to the Cardinals.
They got
last question, guys. Here we go. Last question. I got a little hot fire, rapid fire.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. What will it take for the 49ers to turn this thing around? And what will it take for the Raiders to maintain?
Ooh. I'll go first on this one. For the Raiders to maintain, we need to keep Derek Carr upright. Bye week can come at a better time because before Gruden left, he said in the press conference, our best lineman, Richie Incognito, they're eyeing for him to return after the bye week. Well, the bye week's now. So when he comes back, we get our best offensive lineman back. And Derek Carr was untouched today. Well, he had a couple of pressures, but no sacks. So you put that into this line that's already gelling, that's the way we keep this thing moving. Derek Carr stays healthy and upright. As far as the Niners, I don't know. Y'all got to do something at the trade deadline if you want to salvage, bro. You know what?
I don't know.
You know what y'all need? Y'all need a players meeting, and somebody who's well respected in there needs to step up and be like, "Hey, get it done or get the hell up out of here because this is ridiculous. Too much talent over there, bro. Too much."
Nice. CT.
I will start with the Raiders. What they need to do to maintain, you do have to get Josh Jacobs healthy. It's a long season. You're going to need him. I can't expect Derek Carr to play like that for the entire season. He's going to have some games that'll be a little bit more challenging as people get better as the division tends to creep up later in the season. He's going to need that running back support, and that is your best running back and option there. But with the season defense getting better and better, I think you guys got an opportunity there. On the flip for the Niners, the first thing, we need to leave Levi Stadium because we don't win there. Two, I'll talk about that later. But anyway, number two, I think we need to consider making a change. Depending on how Chicago's game goes, I think we need to look at Trey if he's healthy. The thing about it, you mentioned trust in the receivers. Maybe Jimmy isn't trusting the receivers either.
He only trusts Debo, huh?
With that said, Trey had a pretty good rapport with BA in the offseason. Trey, pretty good rapport with Sherfield. I know that at the end of the day, Shanahan is the play caller, but at the least, Trey's going to have to make that decision and pull that thing. So I think that they should look into that potentially.
All right, so mine would be the Raiders. Raiders for me is simple: stay healthy. If those guys can stay healthy, and keep on playing a brand of football that they've been playing the last few weeks, the Raiders are going to be just fine. Dare I say the Raiders probably win in the AFC West, but if they're able to stay healthy and be consistent in how they've been playing football.
Yeah, let's go.
Now, on the backside of that, for the 49ers, is the complete opposite. They have to get healthy. I think if the 49ers are able to get healthy, and when I say get healthy, I mean get all of these guys back there on IR, get all those guys back. They got these little nagging injuries that they out every couple weeks. That was a good question. Mom says, what was that challenge about? Kyle got fed some bad information from upstairs and threw the flag and, lost the timeout. But yeah, Trey is not ready this year. Get over it. Yeah, Trey. I don't think Trey's ready either.
Okay, look at Seats.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree with that statement just because I told you guys this in our text message. I don't feel like Jimmy's playing terrible. I don't. Like, there's no way about what Jimmy's doing that I think is playing terrible. But so I think we have to get healthy, stay healthy. That means getting Kittle back. That means getting Trent Williams. That means getting Dre Greenlaw. That means getting Javon Kinlaw. That means getting
the whole running back room.
The whole running back room. But getting back to Jeff Wilson's, getting back all those guys, and getting and staying healthy. And then I agree with what CT said. Or was that Quan? One of you guys. There has to be accountability, and accountability comes from leadership. So there does have to be a sense of, and I'm talking about leadership within the team, not the coaches, not the front office, leadership within that team. You got Trent Williams, who got a big bag. He has to step up as a leader. You got, I love the way Fred Warner plays football, but I don't love the way Fred Warner leads men. P. Will was a leader at the linebacker position. Bo was a leader at the linebacker position. Fred plays the linebacker position extremely well, but does he lead that defense? That's why you saw guys like Kawan Alexander who came in and led the defense. It's a different dynamic when you have a guy out there that is leading the man on the defensive side of the ball. Guys make mistakes and they're held accountable, right? It's not just, okay, let's jog off to the side. And, a thing that bothers me, and I'm going on a rant, I know that again, but this is just passion for me. When you have leadership on a football team, that's when the cutscene comes after the timeout and you see the players huddled up on the sideline and you see guys chewing guys out.
Yep.
That matters on a football team. A winning football team, that matters. You don't see that with the 49ers. You don't see the cutscene. Everybody's just kind of sitting on the bench looking straight ahead. Who's the guy that is going to take accountability not for his position, but for the entire defense? We need that guy. That guy has to come. Trent Williams is going to have to be that guy on offense. I would hope that it would be Fred Warner on defense, but if it's not going to be Fred Warner, Jimmy Ward, you love to have a mic in front of you, love to talk. Step up. Be the leader of the defense. Somebody has to be that.
Somebody got to do it.
Yeah.
That's a fair call.
I agree.
Miles says the defensive line needs that fire back. I agree. But I think they just you ever see guys that are playing football like trying not to get hurt because they've been so hurt? At times I feel like we're that. Like there's not the extra dive. There's not like I'm not gonna dive at that one. I got hurt doing that last time.
I saw Nick Bosa do it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say D Ford. I'd have to watch it again. Jimmy, DeQuaski, I've seen all of them.
Rumor is that D Ford is asking for more snaps.
I believe it.
D Ford's like, yo, I'm ready. Like, why am I not playing? Get that boy out there.
And we need him.
Well, he played today, and he could have got a sack, but I don't know what he was doing.
But no, he plays every game, but he's only in on third down. Like legit, only today. Third down.
20, 30
I'm talking about right now. Okay, I feel it. But guys, we all coach football and play football on some kind of level. You guys know when they tell you, when your number's called, make the best of your opportunity. So he can be mad all he wants, but in them 30 snaps, whatever, I saw today he beat the tackle with his little speed rush or whatnot. Carson Wentz right there, and it looked like an old leg. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
That's reps.
So again, you keep complaining for snaps, but I'm seeing you not get sacks.
But that's today. That's today. He's done well in his time. If you watched him last week, not last week because they were on bye, but the week before, when he got in, he was wreaking havoc. He was putting pressure. He has the fact that he even has sacks at this point. I want to say if you look at his pitch count and his production, you would think he was playing the whole game.
And maybe that's a testament to trust again. Maybe he's like, I want more snaps. Well, dang, bro, we don't trust you because every time we give you more snaps, you want IR.
And I don't know what it is about Armstead, but I don't know if it's the way he looks or what. It's just he just screams soft to me. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because
he's not better than Buckner.
Looks.
Absolutely, he didn't deserve that bag more than Buckner.
He didn't get a bag though. He was cheaper than Buckner.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
And look, cheap. Sometimes when you go cheap, you get the results you get. So I'm saying.
Yeah, that's real. I appreciate that statement. I'll take that.
That's a fact. Especially for me, because I'm very frugal in my regular life. I know. Your chest hair look cheap right now. Hey, that's okay, man. I gotta get my bevel razor, and they need to sponsor us too, by the way.
Hey man, Bevel. Hey man, it's the Field Level Football Podcast of the West Coast. Make sure that you're following us on all streaming platforms, all social media platforms. You can find us on everything. If you just type in the Field Level, we'll pop up. Okay, make sure you're doing that. Make sure you guys are sharing the streams, and make sure that you're sharing the lives. Make sure that you're also going in after the fact, watching back the show. See if we said something that you didn't quite agree with, and then let us know. We want to make sure that we're having an interactive experience with all of our listeners. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you want to go. So if you're driving into work, you don't want to watch YouTube, drive safe. Don't text and drive. Turn on the Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts and just listen to the show. Vibe with us on your way into work. We'll be right there with you. But if you're on your lunch break and you're sitting at lunch and you're wondering, what can I watch during lunch? Go over to YouTube, type in the Field Level and watch us there. You watch back past episodes and see what we talked about. See how we got here today. That's Quan, that's CT. Any final words for my guys before we get out of here on tonight?
We won our playoff game today. My son's team. We beat the Hollister Cowboys 34-8. We are moving on to the second round. I don't know who we play because no one's updating me on the scores, but I will figure that out. And I'll keep y'all posted. We almost won. We won game and we're going to the shit, baby. We almost there.
There we go.
There it is.
Nice.
CT.
I'm born and raised in San Francisco, so even though I live in the East Bay now, I had to rep my team. So my flag football team, I'm the head coach of the East Bay 49ers, got a big win today in the wet rain. I was in my bag as a play caller today, Pat. You would have been proud. CT, we ran this fake, and CT was on the other side, man, and broke one. A solid 25, 30-yard run. Stepped out right before he got there, bro. But it was the best run I've seen him run. And the way he was so juiced, man, it was worth it, man. So it was a good look today. Shout out to the East Bay 49ers.
Shout out to East Bay 49ers. Shout out to the Solano County Ravens.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Shout out to both of those youth organizations. Make sure that you guys are giving back to those communities that you're living in, that you're staying in, that you're working in. Make sure you're doing something in those communities. One thing I will say, man, y'all stay safe out there, stay dry. This they call it Arctic River, whatever they called it. It's a lot of rain outside. It's a lot going on. I already know. My little brother just texted me. My little brother just sent out a text to me and was like, "Yo, they canceled school for them tomorrow. So SI is out of school, no football practice for SI, and no school for them." I'm low-key hoping that Reardon decides to cancel too, because I ain't trying to get up and drive to the city in the morning. But anyway, it's the Field Level, the football podcast of the West Coast. We love y'all. Y'all love us back. We Field Level family all day, over and out.
Every week, catch your freshest on your TV. Field Level Football, Quan, Pat, and CT. On the field, running plays for the 3P. And we shine lights, camera action when you see the team. Pick 6, touchdown when I got the ball. And if you think you in my league, tell them knock it off. Money calling every day, and I just got the call. Reduction over projection, it's in us, we just got a ball. We just just got a ball. We just got a ball.